Hi, and welcome to Beyond the Racing Line, the Formula One podcast by fans, for fans. I tell you, the best way to start a podcast is if Shane says something just before we start, positive about Stroll, and the look on Tristan's face. It's always enjoyable. We're a week late, and that's because I was busy sunning myself up in beautiful Queensland, because it's time for a family holiday, and so I made my way down that way. And so, yeah, we're a week late. I'm sorry, but I am joined by Tristan Pocock. Hello, mate. And joined by Shane, as I mentioned, who's giving Stroll compliments very early on in the pod.
I just thought I'd stir him up straight away.
I tell you what, I'm wrapped with how many people do listen to our podcast, because for some reason, last week when you were getting all up and about Alex finishing 6th, and then I said to you, if people just randomly tell me, people all week, and it annoyed the shit out of me. All week, just coming up to me and telling me. And then you were like, you obviously got in contact with half of them and said, here, send this out. And then it was just 9:30 at night. Got a message. Hey, what did you think of the race? Yeah, pretty good.
I got in contact with one person
and
only.
then it snowballed from there, I'll tell you that much. And it frustrated the hell out of me, but I had a good laugh.
Got a bit of a shout out to Erin then.
A big shout out to anyone that listens to our podcast, because obviously we have heaps of fans, because my phone has never been more active in a week ever in my life. So
there is nothing better than annoying you.
Oh yeah,
we've also been racing over the weekend. Our two school teams been racing in the trikes, and our colleague that we go with, she goes, I'm so happy for Tristan. He's leading his category.
He is lovely.
And Shane and I both were like, no, we're not.
And that was the general consensus when I come and saw it. She's like, everyone's talking about you. I'm looking at you two, and I'm thinking, they're not.
We were focused on what we were doing.
That's good.
We were pleased for you.
I know you were.
We were.
Yeah. We did discuss entering one trike in his category next race.
Right, to try and knock him off.
It doesn't matter now because I won it. So
the last race is the important one.
Which
actually, you won.
I won 3.
The Junior Open, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway,
well done.
Beck's lovely. She should come and join my team.
But you actually haven't mentioned that we won.
Oh yeah, we won. We won the proper category.
Ah, yeah, sure, whatever. I think Beck would look better in red and white, to be honest.
So we're going to work our way through the Hungarian Grand Prix, and it's like a week's a long time, and now we're at a week and a half. It's even longer, isn't it? So we're going to do our best to relive it, but then we'll see how we go reliving some of the bits and pieces, because it was an really interesting race. Before we do, we've got a new drink as we drink our way around the world.
You haven't forgotten an opening question, Roger.
Oh, yes, that's true. Before we do, though, we're going to go to the drink, because I haven't got an opening question off the top of my head. You think of one while I'm doing this?
Because you've been in holiday.
I gave you one on the weekend.
I feel like we're going to do a lot of heavy lifting this episode.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You don't use your good stuff too soon, Shane. As we work our way around, I was looking for a Hungarian drink, and this is becoming more challenging than I was expecting to find drinks from every race location. If you're just joining us, we're trying to drink a drink from the race location that's just been. And going to Hungary, there is Hungarian beer. I had some wonderful nights on Hungarian beer when I was in Europe. And it's actually a bit hard to find where we're from at the moment. So I did some more research, and the traditional drink in Hungary is a herbal liqueur. And I was like, oh, I've actually got a herbal liqueur, but this one's actually from France. But this is as close as we're getting. This is Benedictine, which is actually quite a famous drink. The herbal liqueur from Hungary I hadn't actually seen before. But anyway, what's your initial thoughts, Tristan? You smell, take a smell on air for me, will you?
My initial thought, I feel like it's not have changed. It has.
It
smells like paint. It is literally what it smells like. Shane hasn't smelled it. Please smell it.
I had a sip before.
You taste it. Jesus. I'm surprised you're still alive.
Next, terps.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like
very unsophisticated palate.
There was more dust.
It really has got a rough smell.
I've never seen a bottle with more dust on it in my life.
Yeah,
literally.
I'll tell you, Tara's grandmother had given me this bottle a long time ago, and she has
got hay fever just looking at it.
She has got history throughout Europe, and when she gave it to me, I was like, I don't actually know what to do with that. But anyway. And then
it tastes a little bit like the limoncello my wife makes.
Yes, there is an element of that. Yeah, I could imagine over ice it might be quite all right. Tristan's just taken his first drink.
That's so bad. That's awful.
It tastes incredibly strong in it. There's almost an absinthe sort of... Actually, absinthe is a herbal liqueur. You guys might be able to drive home. I'd probably stop drinking it. It is strong, isn't it? It's impressive. Anyway.
That's the worst thing ever. I can't think of anything that bad.
We've had some that you haven't agreed with so far this year, haven't we?
I'll tell you what, there's no danger of that bottle being emptied in our lifetime. You could seal that back up, you'd be a millionaire by the time anyone wants to get to the bottom of that.
Cast your mind back to the sake that we had.
Oh, no. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anything better than that. That's atrocious. That is the worst thing in the history of the world. I can't think of anything that I would not want to drink less than that again.
There you go. Did you come up with an open question for me, Shane?
Oh, sorry.
Shane's about to pass out because he looked at his shot glass. Oh, man.
I'll quickly check. I don't know if Kingsley's presented one this week. He usually has, and I usually just forget to go to it.
Well, it's because you've been on holidays.
I know.
There was a question from Sam about what movies you're going to watch in the off-season.
Well,
okay.
I'll tell you what. I've watched Disney Cars. I reckon I'm up
Again,
to...
you mentioned this last episode, I swear.
I reckon I'm up to... How many times? I watched it twice yesterday. I watched it 3 times on Sunday. I reckon I'm up to about 27 watches of it, to be quite honest. So I love it. It's great, but I'm starting to learn it word by word, to be quite honest. So it's on high rotation. And even in the car today from the drive home, we were listening to the car's soundtrack. And then the little man in the back, it was full choreography this afternoon. I was pretty impressed with what he was doing. He was all sort of doing these ones and that. I don't know. He gets a bit shy when you look at him. You're not allowed to watch him, but you will watch him. So,
all right, Sam's question.
Oh, you go on.
What are you going to watch while the summer break's on?
I'm not a huge TV fan,
no.
but I might go back through some of the classics that they have on KO and things like that.
I enjoy watching the classics on KO. That's quite good.
I need to get a list. You know how sometimes they talk about a certain race?
Yeah.
I want to get a list and then hope that I can go and find it. I mean, you'd be able to find anything on YouTube, I imagine, and go through and check out a few of those because I'm the same. I love watching it. Let's tell you what I've caught up on.
What have you caught up on? What have you caught up on?
I couldn't believe I hadn't seen it. You mentioned it the other day, the Schumacher documentary. I hadn't seen it, and I was nearly in tears. Man, I was having a great watch.
Big softy.
I was having a great watch. It was thoroughly enjoyable, and then they sort of just stop, don't they?
Yeah.
They don't quite go into the depth that they need to go into
to appease everyone about knowing what's going on in his... Yeah.
That part, there's absolutely, you're just like, oh, God, tell me something about the man. I just want to know more. But also, like, they didn't go into depth about parking it in qualifying, and they just left a few of those things alone. Like, they got into it a little bit, but then I'm not sure they really explored all those little bits and pieces.
They got into the things where he thought that he was never wrong.
Yes, yeah.
And that sort of stuff. But in that end couple of scenes there when they're talking to the family, it's like, he's just behind that door. He's probably just behind that door. It's like, you just wanted to know, you know.
How is
a genuine concern about how he's tracking and things like that. So.
The other thing that it made me realise is we've been so robbed. I mean, I know the family feels like they've been robbed more than us, but we've been so robbed of having his opinion on Formula One. Like, we get all these other doofuses who have done wonderful things in Formula One, but they've just, sometimes a few of them turn into little shock jocks, don't they? Like, we've got a few that just, and whereas I just want to have his opinion on certain things. I just think it would be wonderful to find out what he thought of different situations. And we haven't been able to do that. And I saw when Mick Schumacher was talking about it, he just wanted that time to talk Formula One and talk racing with his dad because he has never been old enough to understand that conversation when he did have him. I was like, I completely understand that so much because it would just be brilliant to hear his perspective on Formula One things these days. So that's my watch. I've enjoyed it. I also got through what's the one with Kimi Antonelli?
Yeah, the
seat.
It's quite good.
It was a bit short.
Yeah, I can't. There's not a lot to.
There's not a lot to say, is there?
I have Lewis Hamilton's autobiography from his rookie year.
Yep.
I've copied that. It reminded me of that. There's not a lot in there.
Yep. If you want,
the other one is Villeneuve Peroni, the Villeneuve Peroni story.
I I've heard a podcast. I think he was on a podcast. And that was a little intro, and it was incredibly interesting. So there's a doco on that one too, is there?
The doco between the rivalry and obviously the tragic injuries to both of them.
Yep.
So, obviously Peroni didn't finish that 1982 season. He was in the lead of the championships when he did break his legs, and then he went on to be a powerboat racer and then died in a powerboat accident. And his sons are called Gilles and Didier. They named him. And one of them was actually working for Mercedes a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting.
And so, my next step, I think, will be I'll try and get through the Sennish TV show.
Oh, yeah, I watched that. That was, I couldn't really handle the dubbed voiceovers.
Yes.
My dad's the same. I'm a bit like that.
Takes a bit.
Yeah, it's on delay. But it's sort of some are English, some are on time, and some are on delay, and it irritated the hell out of me. But again, my dad's exactly the same thing. He's not big into closed captions, Dad.
Yeah.
Because he's not quite sure where to look. He doesn't like to look up and down on the screen because he likes to read what's going on and then watch the movie at the same time. He tells me it's very irritating to move his head that far.
I can understand.
I can sympathise
when you got to concentrate on the words.
I'm sure when I'm that age, I'll find things like that annoying.
You always need to watch it twice. Once watching the words,
read it, and then watch the movie.
The people.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So the last race we were in Hungary, and it was it feels like an age ago. Honestly, for me, it feels like an age ago. I watched it in Queensland, and very enjoyable being able to watch it up there in the sunshine. But yeah, it just felt like a long, long time ago. And the Formula 1 break I wasn't ready for. However, I'm okay with having a little pause just for a moment. Initial thoughts for me was it was a race of strategy. We had the 2-stop versus the 1-stop. The 1-stop was not supposed to be able to be achieved. And I just feel like, how many times have we heard that the 1-stop can't be achieved and then it is achieved and it brings great results?
And it's often been Lando who seems just to manage his tyres just that little bit better than Oscar. I was watching some of the highlights again today. They put it out there to Oscar about it early. And, he sort of knocked it back and things like that and didn't think it would happen. And they didn't think it would happen, but Lando managed it just nicely, unfortunately. Yeah,
it didn't seem that he was falling off a cliff either. I mean, in terms of his times, it didn't really seem like he was falling away too drastically.
And Oscar had made it to the back of him with sort of 9 laps to go.
Yeah.
So,
but
sort of. He was 1.4 seconds behind with 9 laps to go.
And then the traffic got in the way, and he sort of only really had 3 laps at it, and it just wasn't happening in 3 laps. Someone had asked him if he regretted doing the little dive a little earlier, whether he should have held on and sort of just played a little bit more cat and mouse first before he showed his card, and I think that probably was the way to go. Are you dirty at McLaren at all? I mean, the Australian media blew up straight away. Oh, Oscar's been dudded and this and that. Were you dirty at the McLaren team for the way they put the race strategies together for the two teams, Tristan?
No, not really. I think knowing that he's been put on the non-optimal strategy multiple times now, it shows that the different compounds that we're taking the race weekends, we still don't have a really good understanding of what they're doing because we're either going a step softer or we're going a step harder than what we did last year. So we're still got in that discovery sort of period with the compounds. But if he's constantly being put on the least optimal race strategy, it means he's not in the position to be getting first service of anything and everything.
Who are you saying is on the least optimal?
Generally Lando.
Oh. Yeah,
I feel like Oscar's getting the correct service and he's getting the number one strategy because he's either putting it on pole or he's making that move down in turn one and then become the lead car more often than not than what Lando is. So he's getting priority status. It's just, as I said, with the new compounds, we're in a bit of discovery with whether the harder or the softer step up or down is working or not. So, and Oscar said at the end of the race that was his plan B should he fall behind anyway. So I think for that, if we were a totally different track, if we were at Spa the week before, Oscar gets that move done. I think the track played a huge part in that not being able to happen as well. It really did. Max was the exception there with the way that he was passing, but I mean, he hasn't got as much to play for at the moment than what the other two do. So
he was also passing cars that weren't anywhere near the level.
That's exactly right. So, yeah, I don't know. As much as it was, quite flattening to not see him win, it is what it is.
Well, I was the same. I felt like McLaren played it as fairly as they could.
Yep.
I mean, there's still two sides within the McLaren overall, and the engineers are working for one side, and then the other set of engineers are working for the other side, and then there's probably the tricky part is then there's a whole bunch of guys going back there running strategy for everybody.
Yep.
So there's two garages sort of working side by side, and then it's the whole team approach. But look, I felt like Oscar was doing what Oscar thought he needed to do. I mean, they did a great job of what looked like us to start with, the Ferraris holding them out for a little while, or the Ferrari holding them out for a little while of Charles Leclerc. They got the job done. They looked like they were going to drive away with the win. And Lando couldn't make that happen the same way. And so they went to Plan B, and it turned out Plan B was actually turned out to optimally be the optimum strategy. In the end.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't even considered a hope for Sky Sports. Yep. But, I mean, it is one of those things that he made it work.
Yep.
I didn't have a big problem with it.
No. And I think Oscar's calls were correct too when they asked him, like, do you want to cover Charles or do you want to cover Lando? And he's like, I'm not really interested in Charles.
I'm not entirely sure they listened to that particularly well.
No, but I can understand, like, I loved his call on that he's showing that he's got no interest in anyone else.
Yeah.
It's that real calculated, like,
if
almost
you're really covering off Lando, do you just wait for him to pit?
Well, I'm not quite sure. It's hard, isn't it, when you're that into team, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an interest. I mean, like Shane said, Oscar said he didn't think his tyres were going to get there.
Yep.
Well, the team knew that Lando was going to be running this second idea.
Yeah.
Like, it was put to him as soon as Oscar came in. I felt a little bit jaded about that part where it's like, oh, gee whiz, like, you've brought him in. You knew his number one priority was to cover off Lando, and once you brought him in and taken that option away, you've then gone and offered it. I was like, ooh, it's a little bit interesting, but I'm not having a crack at him. It's a hard situation to be in, and I felt like it wasn't expected to be the optimum strategy. Shane, what about you?
I was dirty that they brought him in so early, Oscar.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like, it sort of took that option away, didn't it?
Took that option away that he was no way going to get to the end on that because he went so early. But Oscar mucked around in that middle set of tyres. He didn't put a move on Leclerc there. When Lando pitted for the first time, Lando was 18, 19 seconds behind him because Oscar was on his tail, right. And Lando managed to pull back, 10, 12 seconds in those laps.
Yep.
That mean that Oscar had to chase him back. So I think it's all on Oscar.
Yeah, okay.
Unfortunately.
Yep. Okay. Which, it's a tricky one because he's considering that he's managing his race from his perspective, not thinking that he's racing Lando necessarily in that moment. But yeah.
Do you think it was the sudden drop-off of Charles that really only Charles was aware of that was going to happen that changed that as well? Because for the first half of that race, his race was against Charles, and it wasn't against Lando at all whatsoever.
Lando was out of the race at that point.
And then suddenly, when your competitor from another team just drops off in the way that he did, and they're caught off guard going, oh, hang on. What was our race is now suddenly, he's not even going to be on the podium here. I think that played a part to it.
Yeah, and it's actually funny rewatching the little episode today. It popped up on the screen, driver of the day with not many laps to go was still Charles leading. It's like, you obviously opened this up way too early, guys. Yeah. But anyway, it's been a bugbear of mine.
Let's go to... Well, I was going to go to Charles because he seemed like the obvious next, but it was actually George Russell who was in third. Potted along, didn't he?
Yep.
Got the job done in the end.
Cooler temperatures.
Cooler temperatures.
And a happy Mercedes.
Benefited from Charles Leclerc's drop. Let's talk about Charles Leclerc because I feel like we need to.
Yep.
What was the cause of this dramatic
plank wear and an adjustment in pressures. So that's what George alluded to straight after in the press conference, and a couple of days later it came out that that's exactly what it was from Charles.
But I'm able to... Why didn't you let me manage your situation? What's that about?
That
was his comment.
That's him being fully aware of what's going on. I read into that comment that he knows...
So why do you go slower? Because of plank wear?
Because of the pressures in the different compounds. So they had to drop the pressure in the compound.
You can't play with pressures.
Or adjust it in some way. It was I can't remember, it was 2 weeks ago, what they were talking about. But something to do with the compounds and the pressures in there and the way that the ride height was playing around.
And just not
that
braking as hard.
Yeah, there was just not going to be as much plank wear in the opening stages on that compound. But he knew going to that other compound was going.
Yeah. There was an argument pretty much straight away.
Yeah, it was. So
okay,
is there a serious concern at Ferrari that they're not listening to their drivers? Like, and they're not taking on board what the race feel and what a driver is feeling in that race situation. Like, are Ferrari too stubborn and they're just looking at their data and the decisions have been made and they have no flexibility in race to listen to either Lewis and to Charles, and they're not prepared to make any on-the-run changes?
Possibly. They seem to be arguing a lot with the team, both drivers.
Yeah. Whereas if you look at McLaren on the flip side of that, they're offering ideas, the drivers are giving feedback as well, and they're making changes on the run.
It's
working.
It's so much easier when you're out in front, isn't it?
It is, but I think it seems to be a real theme that
currently Ferrari
find it hard to let go
trying to find little bits and pieces.
Yep.
And McLaren, they've got the championship won. They're offering different strategies to their drivers.
I think it's 3 rounds. If they have a 1-2 in the next 3 rounds, it's mathematically, it'll be tied up before year, which, you could be silly to look at those numbers and think it's going to be anything different other than a McLaren title as well. But it's something that I've really caught on to with Ferrari, and I want to see them relax that. And if a driver is giving you feedback on the way that the car is working, on the track is working, just trust their instinct, because they're out there on track doing it. And I think they're starting to shoot themselves in the foot a little bit more than they probably have to. They usually do it anyway, but yeah.
And apart from that, Charles was having a brilliant weekend.
He was having a blind.
He hates the circuit.
Blinder.
It's one of his least favourite circuits. And
absolutely.
He turned around.
It was a remarkable drop off, wasn't it?
It was,
one they knew was coming.
Yep.
That's the part that I found just bizarre, because they were holding their own against the McLarens.
They weren't looking like being beaten at any stage in that first half.
I wasn't. Yeah, I was sure that the McLarens were going to come back to them, but I wasn't expecting that dramatic drop off to the point where George Russell was a long way behind, and Charles ended up 42 seconds behind the leaders, and he was in that battle.
Was part of that a penalty? Yeah, because he got a penalty. So that 40.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, it was still a dramatic drop off considering where he was. Charles' teammate Kimi Antonelli ended up with a point.
Charles' teammate?
George's teammate from third ended up with a point. Anyone want to make a comment on Kimi?
No.
Too long ago.
He's just struggled recently. A point sounds good, but he was a lap down on the leaders.
They've been in and around the next best team, but that hasn't included Kimi. After watching the seat, he isn't ready for this season. Now, does it ultimately matter?
Interesting.
Does it matter if he wasn't ready for this season?
In a way, no, because they weren't going to challenge McLaren.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of are you doing damage to the kid at this point in time?
I don't think so.
The confidence is way down.
Nah, it's just... it's... Like I've been saying, this is where he is. This is an example of a rookie now. Whereas the early month was kind of just very fortuitous with a lot of those results. Or was it the fourth in Australia? Outside of the Miami sprint pole, I think that was the genuine raw speed right there.
I was going to say, there's no doubt there's raw speed.
Yeah, it's definitely that was the first example of raw speed. But now you can see him coming back into the rookie status. So he's in a top team, but he's not at that sort of top end of George being 2 or 3 positioned under. So it's probably the first part of the season masked. Or gave a little bit of false hope.
The other rookies in this season are matching their teammates. Yeah. Kimi is being pantsed by his teammate at the moment.
But that's... I say that's okay, but that's...
the level of the teammate?
But that's really where he is, isn't he? Look at the lack of experience that he had coming in. But, it's...
For me, it's a watch. I tend to agree with you. I don't know that it really matters too much.
I think in the first season, not. Think about Oscar when he first come on, and we were very much of. It's just... He wasn't
going through this, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, the big tell is come into next year... And is he a different driver? My worry is that they're hurting his confidence and hurting his driving with him having to go through this at such a young age without any experience in this sort of thing, I do worry a little bit. I understand where they came from, though, because they were trying to employ a driver for a year. That was difficult. They couldn't talk drivers into coming to them because it was going to be a 1-year seat, because they knew that where they wanted to end up. They wanted Kimi and George. So, yeah, I think they just got to be really careful. I think they've got to look after him through this period and make sure.
I think they will. Like,
if he was a
Red Bull driver, far out, that's a different scenario, isn't it? But this is a very different organisation.
Yeah, and Toto has been nothing but that. But I think that's really important that they continue that. Charles Leclerc, as I said, was 4th. His teammate ended up in 12th. We're going to talk about Hamilton in an episode soon. That's going to be coming out sooner. But yeah, I don't think there's too much to sort of talk about with Hamilton. We sort of saw glimpses of him starting to find a little bit of form, and then this one he's dropped back again, hasn't he?
Yep. Struggled.
On
a track that he usually goes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yep. Not for a little while, but it used to be a domination space for him, didn't it? Fernando Alonso was 5th.
Brilliant.
Great.
Brilliant. Better than Alex is 6th, wasn't it?
Well,
that's a whole position better.
Well,
will he be getting your 3 votes today, Shane?
Yeah, he might come close.
Well, if the form line says 6th gets you 3, then 5th, he should get 4, shouldn't he? Should get 4.
So which is worse, the Williams or Aston Martin?
Which is worse at the moment? They're both a bit on a par at the moment, aren't they?
Well, not in this race.
Not in this race, because
considering Stroll was very close behind him.
That's exactly right, and Williams sort of forgot to show up. Yeah, that's good. That's great.
Bortoletto again.
Ah, yes.
Again.
He's
brilliant.
Just stepping it up. Just
brilliant.
Incrementally.
Yep. Stroll in 7th.
Yep.
We've gone from unbelievable 4 points, brilliant, 1 position back. Yep.
He actually had a good weekend. Like every
did.
practice session, he was right up, either ahead of Alonso or right up behind him. So
he does this. He does this every now and then. He'll have a really great positive result, and then he'll go missing for a long, long time.
And then you think he's about to have a positive result, and then he'll do something stupid in the race.
Yep. Lawson, he's continuing on with his
upsurge.
Upsurge, yeah. He's sort of got the upper hand on his teammate at the moment. Max in 9th, on pace.
Wow.
Interesting, isn't it? And then, anyone else? Anyone wants to mention? No,
not really.
Not really.
No.
All right. Let's.
Okay, what about your mate Franco?
Franco Colapinto, 18th. He was ahead of Gasly in all areas over the weekend, wasn't he?
Were you able to access...
There was a penalty that got him ahead.
It was,
Gasly got a penalty at the end.
Well,
he was ahead of him in the qualifying,
though, wasn't he? Yeah.
He had his best qualifying of the year, and then still was at the back of the field.
Did you happen to get access to Alpine's social media in Queensland last week? Like, you just...
I might have dropped.
I think he's blocked.
Did I?
No. So if you get blocked from a team, you just come in through the Autosport, or you hit Formula 1.
Okay, I see what you're doing. You've got multiple avenues of heckle.
No, it's not a heckle. No,
it's okay.
It's just holding them to their own standards.
I actually screenshotted it. I didn't send it to you, but he obviously did the Pirelli tyre test last week. I put it in the wall.
Don't worry, I commented all over the joint.
Did you? Because I screenshotted the Instagram story for you.
Alpine didn't make comment about it on their own socials.
No, but on their Instagram story, a couple of hours after, they said, "Hey, just letting you know that he's all right." And I was like, "I'll just grab that for you."
And then
I wouldn't heckle the health of a driver.
I don't know if they tried to blame Pirelli, but Pirelli came out and said it was not our fault. It was his fault.
Yeah. No, weirdly, they didn't put up a post saying in this together or anything like that. So I didn't have anything to heckle him about. That's all I'm into him about. 3, 2, and 1. Thanks to All Signs. That's right, All Signs. That is awesome. Who's your 3 points going to, Tristan?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, can you hurry up and just say Fernando Alonso?
No,
I'm not going to give it to Fernando. I'm still going to go with Oscar for 3. And I know he finished second.
Interesting.
But he made the move down into turn 1, and he led.
Got bagged out for picking Oscar in the best car.
You've turned him once.
No, I'm just saying. It's just he did a lot right, and I think the circuit played a huge part.
I'm with you. I think Shane's very harsh on him. I don't think he did a lot wrong.
He did anything wrong, to be quite honest. So, no, he gets 3. And I'm probably going to give 2 to Bortoletto because that's a phenomenal.
How's Lando not getting any, though?
No,
so
well,
far?
because for me, it was...
He was in the fastest car.
He was on pole. He was on pole.
Lando wasn't on
fell
pole.
behind.
No,
Lando wasn't on pole. Lando qualified behind.
Sorry, that's right.
Charles was
Qualified behind, fell back and was passed by multiple cars, and then just the lack of
And won.
the lack of the incorrect strategy sort of fell in his way, and that was it. So when you say that Oscar didn't do a lot wrong, I don't feel like Lando did a lot right. And again, like I'm not hating on Lando, but I don't like it. Just
if only
we need
it
a
just
video
went
podcast
it just went
right
that
now.
way, didn't it? It just went that way for me. Like I did, like
he handled the situation well.
He handled the situation, but it
was remarkably easy for a lot of teams. I'm with you. It was remarkably easy
just fell in his lap.
Considering a lot of teams had said that the one stop was near impossible.
Yep.
It didn't look that hard for them, did it? Like it wasn't like they were in no man's land.
And for me, it just fell in his lap and he got it. Where it kind of very much like Silverstone, like wasn't in the running for it, and then Oscar decided to do what he did, and then he fell in his lap and took the trophy home. I look at things like that. That's why it
should be a 30-point gap.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be a 30-point gap, if not more. So no, Bortoletto gets 2.
Okay.
And then I will give the great man 1 because 5th is better than Albon in 6th.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Yeah.
Good.
Shane?
I'm going to change it around. I'm going 3 for Lando.
Good.
Well, he did obviously drop a few spots off it, but he got past Fernando in the tractor, who actually did a great job just backing everyone up.
That's his go-to, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, and in the end, he made the tyres last. He was super, I actually didn't think he was going to get a one-stop done the way he went out as soon as he got those hards on, but he made it last, and Oscar couldn't quite get past him. So I'll go 3 for Lando. I'm going to go to 2 for Fernando. Did a great job. Well, I was always going to think he'd given Lance 1, but no, and then I'll have to give 1 to Bortoletto.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
For me, I'm going to go with... I'm going to go 3 to Norris as well. In a championship battle, if you can pull off a steal like that, it is so important, isn't it? It's so important for that championship battle, and for me, he's done a good job. It could have extended the lead to 24. Instead, he's dragged it back to 8 or 9 or something.
I think it's 9.
Yeah. So that's so important. It's so critical. I know he's in the fastest car. I don't always love giving the 3 points to the fastest car, but I think it was a really important win. I'm going to give 2 to Charles Leclerc.
Yep.
I thought he was driving really well, and I still don't really understand why they went backwards. It just was so dramatic. And my 1 point can go to Bortoletto. Bortoletto's a rookie. I was nearly going to give it to Fernando, but Bortoletto's a rookie, and he's in a car that's more rubbish than the Aston Martin. So
is it though?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Going on where his teammate finished anyway, which was right at the back.
Yep. So he's outperforming himself at the moment. They've all sort of had their little stints, haven't they, the rookies this year? Apart from Colapinto. Dud of the day.
Dud of the day.
I better go back and refer to some notes, I think.
This is a pretty controversial one. I don't know who
Wonderful.
really is going to be the owner of this stud. But I'm going to balance it out between Zach Brown and McLaren social media is what I'm going to jump on there. Because at the moment, and I don't know whether it's real or we're being fed this, but it's the constant overjoyous celebration every time Lando wins. And then we're seeing all of it. And again, I'm really tentative with this one.
It's so hard, isn't it?
And I don't know if that's the media spin in the story because we're grabbing him at his most excitable. And then when Oscar wins, it's just a little bit of a quiet round of applause, and we're really good.
It's a hug.
It's a hug.
But it's not
a hug, but it's not a, oh my God, my first child is, done. And it's just, if it's true, then it sort of goes to Zach. But if it's not, then it kind of goes to the social media team who are feeding this down that path. Now, they made a bit of an attempt to save face last round where we got the Instagram stories and all that kind of stuff of Zach being overjoyous, which, naturally, absolutely rightful to do so. But overjoyous when Lando won. But then the comment page was bombarded with, where is this for Oscar when he won? It's just Oscar fans unloading in the McLaren social media comments.
So everyone's noticing.
Everyone. And then a couple of minutes later, let's say like 35 minutes later or whatever, then comes this social media photo of Zach hugging Oscar when he gets out of the car. And then it's more photos of Zach and Oscar and a bit more of Zach. And they've gone. They've alarm bells are ringing in the influencer den. And then up come all these photos of these two doing it, trying to save face. And I'll tell you what, it didn't really work. So, again, it's a bit of a tentative dud, because I don't know if it's true or not. But if it is, then it's going to both of them.
Okay.
Because I don't like it. I don't like it. What I like about Toto is his ability to be impartial.
I would never have said that about Toto.
I would probably say yes. I like that he's impartial. And Christian Horner, well, I mean, you say impartial, but really he only had one man to cheer for. So, yeah, which is fair enough there. But I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't like it.
You can't help but notice that there is extra excitement, which is fine. It's fine. It is what it is.
It's fine, but yeah, got to see.
You could barely criticise them on the way that they've handled this situation so far. I think they've actually done a really decent job of trying to keep it even for the team, for the drivers. So yeah, it is a tricky situation.
Oh, and I am fully aware I'm becoming Oscar's number one fan right now. Like
you
1,
really
2, 3, and 4 ticket holder. Like it's I'm all aboard.
Yeah, there is something so incredibly wholesome about supporting Piastri at the moment, isn't there?
There really is.
But in saying that, I'm a massive fan of Lando Norris.
Yeah,
I think he's such a great guy.
I don't dislike Lando either, but
which is really tricky because generally you do, don't you? You really have a thing against.
I do. I don't like him. That much.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
You like Seb when he was in his dirtiest, though.
I love Seb.
Yeah. Seb was great. I saw a photo of Seb today. They had 2007 BMW light up. I was like, oh my god, he was like a baby.
Seb on the Schumacher thing was great too. We don't get enough of Seb, do we? If we know how we always on his choice. You know how we always talk about who would we like to hear more of in the commentary? I'd like to hear way more of Seb in the commentary. He doesn't really comment on race matters. He comments on bigger issues than that,
sustainability issues,
and
diversity issues, stuff like that.
He might make some comments about like the way Formula One's at the moment, where he thinks it is at the moment, but he doesn't get tangled up in those sorts of things, does he? Like the championship conversations or anything like that. Once again, I'd love to hear his opinion on these things. Who's your dad, Shane?
Dad? Okay, my dad is whoever at the FIA decided that a summer break was a good idea. That's my dad. Mightn't do anything to do with the race. But,
after the 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off before we got the last two races, I didn't think I was ready for one. But with the week I've had since coming back from holidays, which I know I sound like I'm really crying poor there, but then having to go to a race, I'm actually thankful I didn't have to watch a race on the weekend.
You've still got a long time to wait still.
Yes, I know. I'm ready for one this week though, and that's the thing. Yeah, so. But anyway, my dud is. I'm struggling to find a dud, but I'm going to give it to George Russell on his media posts, social media. 6 days ago. His post is logging out, ciao for now. And you think, oh yeah, okay, he's logging out, he's going to take a rest from social media. A day later, there's a picture of George looking very suave with his watch on his yacht. And it's like, you didn't log out for too long, did you, buddy? So anyway.
But is it him, or is it a personal assistant just putting it up?
It can be whoever he wants to be, but that's his social. So anyway, he didn't log out. But anyway, next time, George, next time. Let's go to F1.5.
Oh, F1.5. We're mid-season break now, which is a little bit sad. For those that are only new following along, we take out the consistent top runners, and then we create a little championship of our own, which now is becoming quite important because we've really just got two out front.
Well, and I don't think those two would have done too well, would they?
I don't think they would have done too well either. Now, I'll tell you what, I don't know that I'll be more excited. Well, I could have potentially be more excited in the next couple of weeks because over the last 5 rounds, there's been a particular driver that has just absolutely done these ones and skyrocketed to almost contention. You decide whether this driver is almost contention or not. All right, ready?
I will try if you give it to me in any sort of order.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give you random, and then I'm going to sprinkle in the top 4 for you. All right? So Colapinto actually scores this round shockingly enough. His last month has been 1-0-0-1. So, 14 points.
Get around him.
Yeah.
14 for the round.
14 since he started.
Oh.
So, yeah,
All right.
14. That's his score in total.
What do you get this week?
One.
Wow.
That's
Right.
that's not good.
Yep.
Lawson is on 116. And Bortoletto, just 65. Doesn't sound really impressive, does it?
No,
Seems to be doing a lot more than that.
He was with
Yeah.
Colapinto for a long time, wasn't he?
he's had 3 really good rounds, which was 1, 15, and 18. So he's on the
He's
upward.
on the podium this week.
Yeah,
wasn't
he was actually. He was second, so he's on the upward trajectory too. So 65 for him. Hulkenberg is on 129. He scores ace of the last round. Pierre Gasly not doing too badly. Was okay. He had an 18 and a 12, but ended up only on 113 so far. You've got Stroll, 76, which isn't impressive. And that's correct. 76 points, which is not great. You've got Behrman on 98 points. You've got Carlos Sainz on 118 points. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, fellas, because in fourth place at the moment. In fourth place is Ocon. He's the real sleeper at the moment, isn't he? He's on 123 points. In third place is the great man on 140 points. In the last 5 rounds, Alonso has scored 80 points.
So when we've
last
got Stroll
5
beating him
rounds,
for normal points.
in the last 5 rounds, this is where it is, because Stroll has had a little bit. He's had some points early on, but they've not been like he's had 18 and 12. But then he's gone a big run of 0, 2, 2, 4, 2, 0, 2, 2, 2. So it's just twos, right?
Who's that?
This is Stroll, right?
Right.
But Alonso in the last 5 rounds has scored 18, 25, 18, 10, 2, and 25. So he's on 140 points there. So he's in fourth place at the moment. And then you've got, third place at the moment. Then you've got Hadjar on 153. So he's coming good. He scored 10 for the round. And then you've got Albon leading all comers on 189. So the gap's sort of fluctuating at the moment there. It's sort of in and out and in and out. So, yeah, that's where we are for the summer break. Is Albon going to hang on? That's the big question here.
I don't think he is. I think Williams has just stopped any development.
It's real sort of up and down at the moment, isn't it? He had a month of not doing much, then he pegged a win, and then a month of not doing much.
And what's his lead? What's his gap?
His gap is, what are we looking at? 36
the race
to
is
Hadjar.
Decent. It's a pretty decent gap.
But
What's the gap to Alonso from Hadjar?
36. The gap from Alonso to Hadjar is only 13. And then the gap further back from Ocon to Alonso is 17.
I predicted Albon's going to hold on.
Okay, it's
It's
gonna
yeah.
It's been real ebb and flow.
I feel like all of those teams are now in development mode.
Yep.
And so it's just what can they make out of the packages. And so if it suits the car, they're going to go okay.
A DNF is gonna play a huge role in this towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
If
but
you-
he's picking yours in this series. Sometimes a DNF gets you a point.
Well, yeah, sometimes, but not this year because we have more than we
yeah,
need. So
but if there's
Anyway.
a couple.
I actually think the Saints can... Albon can just go in late, put on a new set of tyres, bang out the fastest lap, and he gets more than a win.
Well, that's true.
Oh,
if he
that's
was
true.
focusing
Yeah,
on this championship.
I did say you get 5 points for the fastest lap.
Yes.
So, yeah, anyway, that's where we are for F1.5 as we reach the mid-season break.
Wonderful. Yeah, my prediction's Albon. Who's your prediction?
Yeah, maybe, hopefully he just holds on.
Hopefully.
I think Hadjar's going to do it.
He's dropped off just
he's
as
dropped
much.
off.
He has
Yeah.
dropped off.
That's the
but
thing. If it was 36 points back to Alonso, and they are on a bit of a improve, I'd be like, oh, maybe, but that's a long way.
It's a little bit back, isn't it? Hadjar really missed the opportunity
40
when
odd
Alex
points.
died off, and then
Yeah.
he didn't take full advantage of that too. So
Thanks.
anyway,
Thanks to Chris from Dr. Auto Art. Let's get into fantasy.
Fantasy. Thanks to Chris.
I'm not sure. Do we need
I'm
to?
so excited. Now, Shane, you have to help me here because I'm just having the worst technical difficulties
Are you?
in my life. So you're going to have to help me out. But I've got the round top 10 and I've got the overall top 10. So anything else that you want to sprinkle in
No,
there?
not really.
We
just
can-
don't
we
really
can
Nothing
just
stop
more
it.
for Shane to speak about.
Nothing
though,
more
Vic.
for Shane to speak about.
From what I'm hearing.
Thanks to Chris at Dr. Auto Art. Get all your fantastic Formula One merchandise. Have you noticed that there isn't an Alex Sixth
Yeah.
poster
Yeah, right.
Did you notice
There's
that?
not a Fernando fifth.
No,
so
there's not a
that's all
Fernando
fine.
fifth. Maybe the Alex 6 poster is on hold.
Possibly.
Because of the Alex 6. Like, we have to wait for that first because he would make his way through the order, which makes sense. And I know, knowing Chris, that there will be a backlog. And he's probably working his way through because there's about 52 orders I heard
There are a lot of people
of this
living in
Alex 6.
Thailand,
There'll be a
so they
lot,
might get
and a
that
lot of
Alex
people
6.
will want to celebrate this 6th position as well. So anyway, but thanks to Chris at Dr. Auto Art. Get around his Facebook, Instagram, Redbubble, all of his social medias.
So from this round,
Yep.
it feels like someone has gone for all glory, haven't they?
It sounds
They haven't
like
bothered
it.
about the season.
I
They
don't
just
think
wanted
it's any
to-
different
they
than
wanted to put
two people
themselves-
last time.
They want to put themselves in the spotlight
Just for a week.
and choose the limitless chip on
On
the
a-
week that doesn't have
A
two
sprint.
races.
That's exactly right. So let's just a bit of me time.
That's what it felt like.
For those that are in the market for some of Chris's great artwork, it's actually National Julianne Fries Day today.
Ooh.
So if you enjoy Julianne Fries or you know someone that likes Julianne Fries, then get them some of
Absolutely.
Chris's fantastic motorsport art. It's also National Vinyl Record Day.
Ooh.
Now that's a day I can get around. Which is, and I have lots of vinyl records. Do you have lots of vinyl records?
None.
Really?
Not one.
That's surprising.
No.
Would you have some, Shane?
No.
I don't get around it sounds better with vinyl.
Me neither. I just think they're cool to have.
I do love my I Should Be So Lucky Kylie Minogue vinyl. album.
Did you?
Anyway,
I was going to say, you're the right age bracket for vinyl as well for us. Like,
I remember as a kid putting on some vinyl records.
yeah,
at
my
home,
mum
but,
and dad had. We had
The
this.
smell was magnificent.
Oh, yeah.
I quite like it all. I just don't have a need to store them. I threw out
No.
all my CDs a few years ago, and that actually really hurt.
Yep.
But there was just no need to have them anywhere on.
I see it as,
on my person.
I guess, kind of like Shane's fantasy this week. It's a bit of a social status to say, look at me, I've got one.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. How many people did you tell about your fantasy this week, mate?
yeah, probably none.
Lots of people.
Probably none.
I heard you changed your bio link in your social media to Shane. By the way, I won fantasy this week. Anyway,
I've noticed none of us has finished the Benedict.
that's
thing.
because it
hasn't
is
improved.
it is a glass of chemicals. I'm not touching again. Let's look at the round so far because this is where the celebration is. It is Shane leading all comers on 301 points
Look
for
at
the
him
round.
go.
Look at the smile. I reckon
He's so proud.
there's not much room here. I think his chest just popped out.
He's so
we all
proud.
just sort of got pushed back here at the desk. He's very excited. So 301 points for
He
the round.
even stuffed it up though because
know.
Verstappen only got him 11
I
points.
know.
Verstappen
I
did
didn't
the
even
worst
do it-
round
didn't
ever.
even do it correctly.
And I had actually, in my normal team, I had Alonso. 'cause
Yeah,
he got booted
scored
out.
really well. So,
And then Lewis finishing down there in the
Dear,
Ferrari.
oh dear. Anyway, I finished in second place.
Where was that?
and
Second?
second. I was third last
First
week.
loser. First
so
loser.
267. I did mine correctly and just scored that many points.
But hang on, didn't you use your limitless earlier?
Yeah, when it was
on
a sprint
race
weekend.
where you get
and got,
500 points.
Yeah, got double the points of the people who did well.
He didn't
He's
realise
got
why we
no
were
idea
bagging
what's
him.
going on, does he?
He had no idea we were bagging him a second ago.
Have you finished your drink? That's probably why. It's Zanetta in third place on 258. David Rojas in fourth on 251. Stephen Kennedy, 247. Benjamin Orr, 246. AJ Ferguson, 239. And then rounding out the bottom top 10 of that is Tommy Wilson, Jolyon Dye, and Simon Leng on 232. And if we go to the overall leaders at the halfway mark, it's David Rojas. Oh, where did you finish to?
14th.
14th. That's okay. That's respectable. It's David Rojas leading all comers, 3,283. Jolyon Dye's in second place on 3,278. Dean Holt in third, 3,140. Then it's Andy Tails, Chloe Anderson, Nicola Taylor, Roman Merrick, Dino Bandini on 2,982, Zanetta and David Parsons. Just the usual crew there in the top 10, isn't it? On 2,960. I am in 13th place overall, so I'm quite happy with that at the moment. Top 10 was a bit of a target. Where are you sitting overall?
16th.
16th, that's good. Where are you sitting overall,
No
Shane?
idea.
Nowhere.
Lots.
Lots and lots
It's
all
a
the way
big number.
down. All the way. Is it like 50? Have you got it there?
Oh, I'm working on
Keep
it.
scrolling.
Just keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
working through my
all the way to
30s.
30s, 50s. I'm going to say 51. Feels like a 51 sort of score.
40.
Yep.
No, I think I must have been. Am I ahead of Sam?
Maybe I missed you. No, 44th. You are.
44th.
geez,
Ah.
Oh, hang on. Sam's in 45th.
Ooh, there's a real tussle at the
What's
bottom.
the penalty going to be?
I was going to say, wasn't
Sam
there...
came up with something, didn't he?
There
What
was
did he come
some
up with?
sort
You
of
got a good memory for these
penalty
things.
for someone not doing well. Which
Let me see.
I can't even remember what it was, but I'll tell you what, we're in no danger of having to deal with that.
I hope it's not cleaning the beyond the racing line studio.
Yeah, that would be good, actually. Can we do that?
It could be finishing that bottle of whatever chemical.
Actually, no, I think Sam came up with an idea, but it was nowhere near humiliating enough. And so, yeah.
And so we sort of scrapped it.
I humiliate myself every day. So that's not a problem.
I'll come up with it, I think, yes.
That sounds good.
He thinks the loser should have to cook the Chinese pasta I talked about for the episode finale. Nah.
The joke would be on him.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, no. We'll come up with something.
We'll come up with something.
Anything else? Any news you want to discuss before?
No, because it's just sort of summer break.
It is. I went scrolling and it was just a few, few articles that all the reporters have written before they went on holidays.
Yeah, all about stuff that just makes sense.
And then they released it as they've been on holidays, which is exactly what we're about to do.
That's exactly right. We're going to record heaps of episodes and release them later, and then we're going to go on holidays.
Yep, that's right, exactly. But yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to keep an eye out for our Fan Frenzy, which is coming up. Then you're going to keep an eye out for our mid-season review, which will be coming out sometime next week. But until then, enjoy your holidays, and we'll get back into it very soon. Goodbye now.